Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're taking a look at every single LEGO Star-Lord minifigure that's ever been released. Understandably, the first ones came out in 2014 with the first Guardians movie, and the most recent one came out in 2024 with the new Milano set. So there's 10 years of minifigs to look at and how it grew and evolved. So sit back, relax, hit like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So like I said, the very first Star-Lord minifigs came out in 2014 with the first movie. This one came in Star Blaster Showdown, which retailed for about $20, and this one came in the big Milano spaceship set, which I think retailed for somewhere between $80 and $100. That being said, both minifigs are completely unique from one another, and both sets actually gave you Star-Lord's helmet, which is pretty cool. As you can see, it's a very, very unique mold. It was only used in 2014, and then again in 2017 with a new print, which we'll look at in just a moment, but it is a great-looking figure in both cases. Of course, both figures got leg printing. The one in the Ravager outfit shares the same leg printing as Gamora and Drax from that same set, whereas the one here has the trench coat printing on there. No printing on the sides of either legs, but I always liked how the back of the torsos looked. I used to use this torso flipped around for Daredevil from the MCU, and on the back of this torso, I like how it has his knapsack, and you can see the orb is kind of protruding from inside the bag. Of course, both heads have a reversible side to them, but of course, when the helmet's on, it doesn't make any difference, and overall, I really like both of these minifigs and think that they've both aged really, really well. We wouldn't see LEGO Star-Lord again for about 3 years when in 2017 we got two new versions from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 sets. You might also recognize this version on the right because this was used in the Infinity War Thanos Ultimate Battle set, which of course had the Benatar in it. So this figure actually was on store shelves for quite some time, whereas this figure, which was the final appearance of the Star-Lord helmet with that really great helmet print. In fact, I'll hold it up side by side so you can see. I do think the 2017 one we're looking at right now is a much better print, but regardless, they're both still really good. The one on the left has his jetpack apparatus on from when they're fighting the Obelisk at the beginning of Volume 2. However, in that film, he's not really wearing, like, gray. It's actually more of, like, a red look, if memory serves, so it's not 100% accurate. Regardless, though, we do get a really nice mini build on the back with a drape piece there that adds a binocular there for his jetpack. And of course, both figures have some great detail. If we lift it up, both figures use that same Bucky Barnes style head. It wouldn't be a little bit longer before we would get the Chris Pratt style head in the Jurassic World sets. Then of course, if we lift that up, you can see that the jetpack is actually printed on the back anyways, which is pretty unique in its own right. 2017 gave us one more Star-Lord minifigure a lot of people forget about, and this is the Mighty Micros Star-Lord. This was a very short-lived theme that LEGO only operated for, I don't know, maybe 2 years or so. And, you know, they were like cartoony-looking, short-scale figures that came in like little bumper cars. And when we flip it around, you can see he's got sideburns and a big cartoony grin on the other side. This was a fun little sub-series of LEGO Marvel to collect, but a lot of people have forgotten about it as time has gone by, and I'm always here to remind you. The next time we would see Star-Lord would be another 4 years later in 2021. Well, 4 years since Guardians 2, 3 years since Infinity War. I guess it depends on how you do the math. Anyways, this version of Star-Lord came in the Ultimate Collector Series style Guardians ship. It has a great torso print on the front and back, and most notably, those dual molded legs with the black boots. We finally get the Chris Pratt style head that's used on both Star-Lord from here on out, as well as Owen from Jurassic World. And we also got a really unique hairpiece here with the Superman swirl up front. And of course, when we flip it around back, we've got this kind of determined face from Chris Pratt. It definitely nailed his likeness. I think LEGO absolutely crushed it, and I think this figure is really great just a couple years later. 2021 gave us our first true Star-Lord variant, if you will, and this, of course, is T'Challa Star-Lord from the LEGO Marvel Collectible Minifigure series. This figure is so awesome. In fact, I use these legs to upgrade pretty much every version of Star-Lord because of those awesome, you know, blasters on the side there, his jet boots there, and then, of course, we can lift it up to get an amazing Chadwick Boseman head. But that's not all, folks. It also came with a hairpiece that looks really good that you can use. Of course, when we put that helmet back on, on, this would be the last Star-Lord helmet we would get for any version of Star-Lord, at least as of this video being recorded. Hopefully we get more in the future, but I really don't know if LEGO is going to make any Star-Lord figures going forward, since I'm sure he'll be in the MCU someday, but his helmet has been destroyed, so unless they keep going back and making Infinity Saga sets with the Guardians, I think our days of getting any Star-Lord helmets might be behind us. All right, 2023 brings us to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the final Guardians movie with the original lineup, and we've got that same head and hair combo we've been looking at, with a brand new torso and legs, which were used on every member of the Guardians, of course with the exception of Rocket and Groot, but the torso was used on Rocket, so I guess there's that. But regardless, it's a really great figure that I think looks really great and will stand the test of time with all that awesome detail. And the most recent and potentially final Star-Lord figure we've gotten is the new 2024 version. Remember, I say potentially final because, you know, Star-Lord will probably appear in the MCU again someday down the line, but we don't really know when or where that could be. No guarantee that he would appear in a LEGO set, even if he is in the MCU. And unless LEGO goes back in time and keeps revisiting old MCU movies, well, this might be our last chance to get Star-Lord. Anyways, he has a great new torso print where the blue shirt underneath the jacket really pops, and of course those legs look absolutely awesome. The leg printing was used on Gamora and Drax from the Milano set as well, and we get that same classic head and hair combo, making for an awesome figure and a great final inclusion in today's video. Alright guys, let me know in the comments which Star-Lord you think looks the best. I think there are a lot of contenders, so I can't wait to read those comments. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you guys on the next video.